Initiation is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone Why are my research materials constantly disappearing? Fools are actually fighting! My money's on the big one.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear? I'm always trying to find... I've heard whispers of more of its work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us. Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these. Until next time.
It's probably just another urban legend. I bet the instructors spread these stories to teach. Is from going. Amen. We should go down there tonight. What's up?
I don't think so. Phyllis told me that I'm
That's surprising.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education. The key to wards, not long, but you can't start casting with a fireball coming at you. Also, if your ward isn't negated by an incoming spell, it will recharge itself after a moment or two. Just be careful. Casting wards requires constant concentration, and you can easily find yourself drained of your magical reserves. Very good. I hope this will allow us to maintain our reputation. Well, yes. This is rather embarrassing, but it seems I've misplaced something. I seem to have misplaced the book I was reading. If you happen to see it, would you mind bringing it to me? Until next time. The college will be here for you no matter what. We always look after our own. A book of mine. I was at least happy. Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery? Ah, yes. Well, I'll be sure and stop by the Arcanium later. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Aliad, Dwemer, Daedric, or even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned as I am, given my extensive years of experience. But can you feel it? This marvelous object, it practically radiates magicka. And yet it's unlike anything I've felt before. Archmage Aaron is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
I'm afraid
No,
It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We are involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go. Really? Will allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Psijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you, specifically. So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants. Technically, that is true, but I still report to the Aldmeri Dominion, and I cannot ignore this situation. Don't worry. You can return to your petty squabbles and meaningless research as soon as this matter is resolved. Now, you are going to speak to this monk and find out why he is here, and then he will be removed from college grounds.
Please do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. It is good to meet you in person. I'd simply like to talk to you. I've given us a chance to speak privately, but I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. I believe it is due to the very source of our concern. This object, the Eye of Magnus, as your people have taken to calling it. The energy coming from it has prevented us from reaching you with the visions you have already seen. The longer it remains here, the more dangerous the situation becomes. And so I have come here personally to tell you it must be dealt with. You set this chain of events in motion at Sarthal. You must understand the Psijic Order does not typically intervene directly in events. My presence here will be seen as an affront to some within the Order. As soon as we have finished, I will be leaving your college. I'm all too aware that my arrival has aroused suspicion, especially in Onkano, your Thalmor associate. Nevertheless, my Order will not act directly. You must take it upon yourself to do so. I presume you refer to Ancano's distaste for the Psijic Order. The Tholmor see our order as a threat because we have power, and we will not allow them to control us. I assure you that we mean you no harm. I assure you that we mean you no harm. As you may have learned, this object, the Eye, is immensely powerful. The world is not ready for it. If it remains here, it will be misused. Indeed, many in the Order believe it has already. Rather, something will happen soon, something that cannot be avoided. Unfortunately, the future is as obscure to us as it is to you. The overwhelming power of the Eye makes it difficult for us to see. I fear I have already overstepped the bounds of my order, but I will offer this. Seek out the Augur of Dunlane here in your college. His perception may be more coherent than ours. He was once a student here at the college. Now he is something different. I am unsure. He is somewhere within the college. Surely one of your colleagues must know his location. I am sorry I cannot provide you with further help, but this conversation requires a great deal of effort on my part. Now, I'm afraid I must leave you. We will continue to watch over you and guide you as best we can. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
I'm sorry. Were you about to say something? I'm not sure what happened. A monk from the Psijic Order. Here after all these years, and then he just leaves. I hope we didn't offend him somehow. Beyond asking for you, he never said. Very strange indeed. Has Tolfdir been telling stories again? I thought I made it quite clear that this was a subject inappropriate for conversation. Please, don't allow him to continue to discuss the subject.
Well,
All right then.
what is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, don't understand.
Don't play coy. You asked to see a specific member of the college. Here she is. Now what is it that you want?
There's been a misunderstanding. Clearly I should not be here. I shall simply take my leave.
What? What trickery is this? You're not going anywhere until I find out what you're up to.
I am not up to anything. I apologize if I have offended you in any way.
We will see about this.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime.
You must excuse me.
Several
I
of
shouldn't
you are
be
talented.
here.
I'm not... I have many important things on my mind. Your concerns are not among them. The what? No, I'm quite sure I have no idea what you're talking about. I suggest you mind your own business and return to whatever it is you do here. What? Preposterous. And just the sort of thing I would expect from mages who have nothing better to do with their time. I have made it quite clear that my only role here is as an advisor to the Archmage. I would suggest that you not further spread this rumor.
always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education. The college will be here for you no matter what. Well now, there's a name I haven't heard in some time. My goodness, it's been years since I've spoken with him. I suppose he's still down in the Midden, but I haven't checked. Are you going to see him? Do tell him hello for me, won't you? Underneath the college. It's not the nicest place, so if you go down there, please do be careful. Well, I suppose he wouldn't mind. It was all before my time, you understand. I've heard the stories, the same as anyone else. He was a brilliant student, an accomplished wizard, delved into magic in a way none had seen before. But I think he became too focused on just how much power he could acquire. That's what led to the accident. Do you remember what I first told you? About how not being able to control magic could destroy you? I didn't simply mean it could kill you. The Augur's accident is another very real type of a life destroyed. Well, it's been described as an accident. I can't imagine it was intentional. Something must have gone wrong, and he ended up in the state he's in now, fused to the energies that flow through the college. I've never felt it appropriate to ask him about how that must feel. But I suppose if he can feel it all. Well, it was all, he was a, but I think he became, do you remember what I first told you? I didn't simply mean it could kill you. Well, it's been described. Something must have gone wrong, and he ended up in the state he's in now. I've never felt it appropriate to ask him about how that must feel. I suppose. It's always encouraging the younger generations embracing education.
spirits will only lead to disappointment. Still, you persist. Very well. You may enter. I am that which you have been seeking. Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun. But those who have sent you have not told you what they seek, what you seek. Indeed. And so you have come looking, though you do not know why. Like others before you, you blindly follow a path to your own destruction. The Thalmor came seeking answers as well, unaware they will be his undoing. Your path now follows his, though you will arrive too late. The one who calls himself Ancano. He seeks information about the Eye, but what he will find shall be quite different. His path will cross yours in time, but first you must find that which you need. You, and those aiding you, wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware. To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Archmage.
It's no secret that the college's reputation in Skyrim is tainted. Really? And what might that be? I'm sorry, what? Well, I'd certainly love to have such a powerful staff, but I'm not really sure that any of us need it. And how do you know of this? Did you really? And he specifically mentioned the staff of Magnus? I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, someone will need to follow up on this. I certainly do. Since you went so far as to seek out the Augur for advice, I thought you'd be more enthusiastic. Something as specific and ancient as the Staff of Magnus. I'm not sure we'd ever find something like that. I seem to recall Mirabelle mentioning the staff somewhat recently. Why don't you see if she can tell you anything? I'm quite pleased with your progress, you know. You've certainly proven yourself to be more than a mere apprentice. Well done. This circlet once proved invaluable to me. I hope it can be of use to you now.
Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary. Well, now that's an odd question. Why in the world would you be asking?
I thought I had mastered conjuring a balanced sword. I didn't know Finis was going to ask me to impale something with it.
I see. Well, yes, I suppose I did mention it, though I'm not sure what he expects me to tell you. I only brought it to his attention a few months back when the Synod showed up here looking for it. They were apparently under the impression we were keeping it in a closet somewhere.
I'd let Phineas impale Reed any day.
Mages based out of Cyrodiil. They fancy themselves the imperial authority on magic these last few hundred years. My understanding is that all they really do is make noise in an attempt to curry favor from the Emperor. Lots of politics, little magic. I was quite surprised to find them on our doorstep. They seemed amiable enough, but their line of questioning made me uneasy. It became clear they're trying to hoard powerful artifacts, looking to consolidate power. No one here does. The Synod seemed convinced it was somewhere in Skyrim. They inquired about the ruins of Mzulft, but that's all I remember. It sounded like they were heading there, though they were rather secretive about why. I suppose if you're intent on looking for the staff, there's a chance they might be in Mzulft yet. Just don't expect them to be cooperative. I'm not really sure. Made and used by Magnus himself, if you believe those sorts of things. I believe I've heard it said that it's the only thing that could adequately contain his power. The sort of embellishment wizards of ancient times loved to make.
little. Their souls are trapped in oblivion, all the same, and here I stay. Where I belong is back aboard my ship on the Abyssian. You've no hope of defeating me, pup. Don't bother. Why not broker a bargain instead? Those kids are dead anyway. Killing me won't bring them back. I, on the other hand, have done quite a bit with my time on Mundus. Release me, and I'll share a bit of my wealth with you. Years back, I had to ferret away some booty nearby. We'd sunk an Imperial galleon off the coast. Good plunder, but we needed to travel light. We stashed what we couldn't carry, and I hid it with a trick I know. I can point you in the right direction, and we'll each go our separate ways. Names have power, lass. You should know by now. Just say, Velik Sane. I release you, and poof, I'm on my way. There's a smart lass. Check the map. The loot's hidden there. It'll show itself when you get near. See you on the other side, mortal. Souls are trapped in oblivion. Where I belong, you've no hope of defeating me. Have it your own way, meat. You surrender. So, you broke the binding spell, did you? Matters little. Their souls are trapped in oblivion, all the same, and here I stay. is back aboard my ship on the Abyssian. You've no hope of defeating me, pup. Don't bother. Why not broker a bargain instead? Those kids are dead anyway. Killing me won't bring them back. I, on the other hand, have done quite a bit with my time on Mundus. Release me, and I'll share a bit of my wealth with you. Years back, we stashed what we couldn't carry, and I hid it with a trick. Names have power, lass. You should know by now. Just say, Velik Sane. I really... Clever try, Scab, but it won't be that easy.
You won't get away.
Who seeks death? To think what they're so well, you've no hope of defeating those. Release. We stashed what we names have power. There's a smart lass. Check the map. The loot's hidden there. It'll show itself when you get near. See you